Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome to a very special edition of Wrestle AM, AEW Weekend Review. We saw it from the pay-per-view, to the Dynamites, to the Collisions, to the Rampages, and everything in between. SidsLight is a little burnt out on pro wrestling. I don't think he usually watches this much pro wrestling. Are you with us, Sid? Sid, speak to me. Sid, speak to me.
I definitely have not been watching this much pro wrestling.
It was a lot of pro wrestling. Overall, I thought it was a pretty decent week. I think WWE, AEW, New Japan, and some of the bigger companies, less is more. I think if you take away 3 matches on that pay-per-view, it's one of the best pay-per-views ever. And I feel like there's just so much going on at all times that if it made it feel more special. And I know we live, well, not we, North America, Europe maybe. You live in a world where you can only have one. But in general, I think all the companies need less is more. Less is more. But I see it as a huge win. Controversial week, but it was a fun week of pro wrestling. We'll break it down little by little, so feel free to in the comments, win, loss, or tie for the pay-per-view, Dynamite, Rampage, Collision, and if you want, you're like, I love only one company and I've rubbed my nipples to it. You can put that down in the comments too. It's weird, but you can do it. All right, let's break this down. Also, we're going super fast today because it's late for SidsLight, and SidsLight is so burnt out. At SidsLight, check out that man on the Twitch machine. Do it now. Oh, there you go. All right, we're starting with 0 Hour. Neither of us watched it, but we start. Trent Beretta defeats Matt Sydal. Siobhan and Orange Cassidy defeat Shane Taylor's Promotions. And the match that we thought for sure should have been on the main card, the AEW World Trios title, ROH 6-man tag title. Combining them, I think all wrestling has way too many titles, so I thought this was a great idea. And your winner is the Bullet Club Gold, a.k.a. the Bang Bang Club. And I think we both say there's so many matches that were on the pay-per-view that should have been bumped for this one.
Yeah, this should have been on there over both of the shitty men's matches that were there that we hated, that put me to sleep for one of them. Jericho Hook definitely shouldn't have been on there.
No.
And this should have been on there.
100%.
Fucking
all right,
Jericho
let's get to Dynasty. Dynasty. Dynasty overall right now on cagematch.net. That's where we're reading it off of. They rank it at 9.10. I thought this was a great pay-per-view with a middle that should have just been thrown out. I just think like the first match was great. There was a couple good matches, and the last 3 matches, as Sheamus would say, was banger after banger after banger. And I don't know if they get bonus. I imagine they get bonuses on pay-per-view, but maybe not everyone should be on pay-per-view. You have 87 hours to fill up. So overall, I still give it a win, but a warning. The middle's rough. What about you, Sid? Win, loss, or tie overall?
It's the same. This pay-per-view put me to sleep twice in the middle on the same match. Outside of that crappy 3-match arc, though, one of the best pay-per-views ever. Like crazy work rate matches. But there's that rough patch. I think it's a win, but it's a win with an asterisk.
And I feel like if you fast forward and didn't watch it live, you were the real winner.
Yeah.
It starts off with a fucking fantastic match. You got Dragon Gate's Pac versus New Japan's Okada in an AEW ring for the Continental title match. It was 21 minutes, 55 seconds. Me and SidsLight are high-fiving. This is what pro wrestling is about. This is AEW. And I feel like anyone that followed this, we're in trouble. And Okada did go viral in Japan for doing the Rainmaker, but stopping and giving the finger. And I love Japanese Twitter fans so much more than English-speaking Twitter fans. They had a debate of how Okada's middle finger is as long as it has. Like, I'm sorry, there's 2 types of Twitters. There's English Twitter, I like this company more than others, and then there's Japanese Twitter. So Okada's finger's crazy long, right? That finger should not be that long. There's two different worlds on Twitter. Two different worlds. I thought this was fantastic. I absolutely enjoyed it. I want to see Pac more. I want to see this more. I do think the Continental and International titles should be combined. But besides that, huge fucking start of the show. Sid, would you like to add anything?
No, this was a really good match. Like the whole match was great. I didn't feel like it was a 21-minute match. It felt like it was just fascinating match the whole way through.
And next, the 6-man tag match. It's House of Black. House of Black defeats Adam Copeland, Eddie Kingston, and Mark Briscoe. I would rather have seen the 6-man in the pre-show on this spot, and I feel like we have a bunch of big names, go watch them all in one match. And felt very New Japan-ish. That's not a compliment in this scenario. Sometimes feeling New Japan-ish is a compliment. Not
this felt like
scenario.
A dirty nude trick.
Yeah. I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it, and it wasn't a bad match. It's like, how do you follow Okada and Pac and have a 4-hour pay-per-view, and the Bang Bang Club and the Acclaim don't make it, but this match does.
Yeah, your unifying match doesn't make it, so this can.
Yeah, it's just silly. Overall, just silly, and I don't really hate the people in this match. It just feels like I feel AEW gets critiqued a lot unfairly, but then they do something like this, and you're like, oh, the criticism is warrant in this situation. When people are like, oh, it's just matches thrown together. It's hard because not all matches are thrown together. But when this match is just thrown together, you're like, they have a point. Anything you want to add, sir?
No, this match was not great. This was the start of the bad arc.
Yeah. If they cut out the 6-man, the women's, and maybe you can keep the women's, the Roddy match, and I love Roddy, and FTW, and maybe keep the women's. Bam! This is a better pay-per-view. This is where it starts to get average to what the fuck are they thinking. The AWTBS title House Rules match. Willow Nightingale defeats Julia Hart. I'm a huge fan of Willow Nightingale. She is going to be challenged by what's her name? She showed up 20 years ago. Still hasn't wrestled yet. Fuck, she's really popular. Sasha Banks. Yeah. CEO. I don't know. I love everything about this. And if it wasn't squished between such average matches, I'd probably like it more. But I'm happy for Willow Nightingale. And here's the crazy part. That was only a 6-minute match. That 6-minute match felt way longer than that 21-minute match of Okada. And it's not Willow Nightingale's fault, in my opinion. I just think... No. Yeah, go ahead.
The last match killed us.
Yeah. And next, and this is where we were both kind of cranky. And I was like, no, I fucking love Roderick Strong. This is going to be a good match. And Sid's like, no, it's not. And I
was adamant this would not be a good match.
And I just want to be known, I was pro Roderick Strong. I thought this was going to be a good match. This is going to make me lose internet credibility. I don't give a fuck about Kyle O'Reilly. I thought this match was the shits. And I'm a huge Roderick Strong fan. I don't fucking care. And it was one of those, like, storylines where they're like, oh, we'll work slow because it's emotional. And it just did not work at all. I did not care. I love Roderick Strong. I feel bad for Kyle O'Reilly. I know I'm losing internet cred, but I calls it like I sees it. I don't give a fuck about Kyle O'Reilly at a fucking very high level of not giving a fuck. Is there anything you want to add?
No, this match was as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
It was a very mediocre match.
And here's the thing. We were debating because we were watching live. We were having a watch party. My favorite line is, we're having a watch party. It's just we don't invite you. We're having a watch party. We're watching it. And, overall, I was defending Roderick Strong. I'm like, no, Roderick Strong can go. You know, I'm thinking ROH days. I'm thinking NXT days. I think FIP days. I'm thinking ROH, IPW. I love Roderick Strong. I'm a huge Roderick Strong guy. This might be the worst Roderick Strong match I've ever seen. It was fucking rough. And then Kyle O'Reilly later on cuts a promo, and it's like, I don't care. I don't fucking care. I want to care, but I don't. And here's the thing. I think it's one of those things where you got to know who's a wrestler and who's a storyteller. And I think they're trying to force people that are not storytellers to be storytellers. Yeah. But either way, I think this was the most heartbroken match for me. Then comes the FTW title match, FTW rules match. Chris Jericho defeats the Hook and a title change. And he hits Hook with a baseball bat. The fans were harsh on Chris Jericho, and I think he deserves it. This match, you fell asleep twice because we watched really late because of time zones. I live in Japan. He lives in North America. So you're watching it really late. You fell asleep twice during this match.
Yeah. I fell asleep one night watching with you, and you finished it. And then I tried to watch the pay-per-view by myself, and I fell asleep on this match again. And then I finally, the next night got through the match. Oh, no, the next day I watched it at the first thing in the morning with coffee to make sure I could get through that match. And that was how I finished the pay-per-view, was the next morning with a coffee, because I didn't trust Jericho and Hook anymore.
And I don't want to beat this dead horse, but Chris Jericho should have retired when he was holding the rope and MJF wins. It would have been the greatest. Chris Jericho walks on water in Japan. People love Chris Jericho. My missus is a big fan, and even her, she was like, well, why don't he just recreate himself like Muda did? Why don't he? And I was like, I don't think he has anything left. He did do the Learning Tree, which I find hilarious because I work with a company called The Learning Tree. But outside of the Learning Tree and me popping because it's something that's in my personal life, this was rough. And I don't know, in Japan, you like, when someone gets older and washed up, you still kind of root for him for fighting spirit, but I don't even think he has fighting spirit. And I don't know, it was rough. He's trying to turn it around. I think he's going to try to be like what CM Punk was going to try to be, and try to be what Cody Rhodes was going to be, like Homelander. I apologize, I haven't watched the show, but people reference it a lot. Like, he's a hero, but he's not a hero. But I don't know, like, unless he's working us all, I see an old man who's delusional. Would you like to add anything to that?
I hate the Learning Tree so much. I hate the Learning Tree, and this whole match was stupid. This match shouldn't have existed. This match was bad. It made Hook look bad. I don't understand why you wanted to make Hook look bad. It didn't make Jericho look good. Nobody came out of this match better.
Yeah, unless Hook is going to WWE and you just wanted to write him off television. But even then, because it was the last match announced, and it had a House of Torture feel to it. Like, oh, well, this is the reason I'm not going. The fans shit on it. It was a horrible match. And unlike the Roderick Strong match, I feel like people, there wasn't anyone it's like, oh yeah, this one's going to be good. I think it was just all around. So it's going to be interesting. Chris Jericho has recreated himself a bunch, but this is going to be hard. Like, even my missus is like, why don't he just recreate himself like Muda? I'm like, Muda's Muda. I don't know if Chris Jericho is, but Chris, Japan loves you. Fix your shit, man. Fix your shit. Yeah, it's pretty rough. All right, next you got Tony Storm defeats Thunder Rosa, 15 minutes. I thought it was a decent match. I liked it. I feel like I'm a little too harsh on Tony Storm because I don't like the gimmick. But once you get past that, I would say a solid match. Do you have anything to add?
No, it was a fine match.
Yeah, and see, if you got rid of Jericho, got rid of Roderick Strong, that sentence fucking hurt me. Both those sentences hurt me because I'm a huge fan of both of them. And you replace the 6-man tag, this pay-per-view, which is getting a high score on everywhere, would probably have been considered fucking perfect. All right, from here, it's just, as Sheamus says, banger after banger after banger. Will Ospreay defeats Bryan Danielson, and it's one of those things. Will Ospreay's in his prime. Bryan Danielson's coming towards the end of his prime, according to, himself. And it just fucking delivered. There was just fucking magic in the air. I think Meltz gave it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6.5 stars, whatever that means. But I enjoyed the living fucking shit out of it. And I felt bad because the first night you fell asleep, I was like, oh my God, the last 3 matches were fucking amazing. And I really fucking enjoyed it. I think it's a must watch, maybe match of the year candidate. And it was just all around fun. Is there anything you want to add?
Yeah, this match was amazing. Like, this match was just phenomenal. If you wanted to watch anything, watch the first match and then skip to this match and watch the rest of it. If you're time crunched and you just like, what's the very best? If you watch just that first Okada match and then skip to this and watch the rest of it, you're seeing ridiculously good work rate.
Yeah. AEW World Tag Team Title Tournament final ladder match. So basically, this is for the AEW tag titles. The Young Bucks do defeat FTR. I thought for sure FTR was going to win, but Jack Perry comes back and he comes in as a fan. He's dressed up as Sting. And I don't know, last week on Wrestle AM, previously on Wrestle AM, we were against it. The showing of the footage. And I don't know if a lot of luck is. I think I was in the wrong. I think this worked out great.
I think this is one of those rare times where Let 'Em Cook actually cooked.
100%. Yeah. And usually they don't. 98% of the time when it's like let 'em cook or wait to see where it goes, it's always failure. It's always fucking failure. This is one of those times where we were wrong. I was wrong. Raccoon, are you willing to admit you were wrong?
No, I was definitely wrong.
And I thought it was absolutely amazing. I don't know where FTR goes from here, but it's very interesting to see where it goes. I enjoyed this match. I think FTR and the Young Bucks have great chemistry. And not only do they have great chemistry, it's 2 different styles of pro wrestling, which, in my opinion, 2 different styles of pro wrestling is harder to have good chemistry. So, yeah, overall, just fantastic. And then you have the AEW World title match. Swerve Strickland defeats Samoa Joe. 18 minutes, title change. Everyone's gone fucking crazy. And hopefully Swerve Strickland can keep it going. I do love Samoa Joe. It was a short title run. I thought it was a good title run. And now we'll see where it goes. And I think Swerve Strickland is insanely over. And I don't know. Just overall, those last 3 matches and the Okada match. Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. Would you like to add anything, sir, before we go to the next one?
I agree. I love that they put it on there. Mark Henry had a quote where he said Swerve winning didn't feel like they put it on Swerve because he was a black champion, a black wrestler. It felt like they just put him on him because it was the right thing. And I think that's awesome because, yeah, Joe's run was short, but it felt like Joe's run was more about getting Joe on the books for the title's legacy. And they're sticking with their theme of keeping the belt on younger wrestlers. And I like that they're putting the belt on guys who they can build the company around consistently.
Yeah. And not that, but he's a great wrestler, veteran, Semper Fi. And I don't know. And granted, I don't know. I'm a white guy living in Japan. I'm kind of getting tired at first. I just want to see the best. And I don't think this is a first. He's just the best in the company right now.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah. So overall, I give it a win, but man, that chunk in the middle was rough. So
that chunk was brutal, but outside of that, one of the best pay-per-views I've ever watched. Yeah. Top-notch work rate.
Next, we go to Dynamite. I'm still reading this off Cage Match. We open it up. AW World Title Eliminator Match. I know Eliminator Match isn't a non-title match. It's non-title match with a couple extra steps. I hate it. Just make him defend a title.
Agreed.
Swerve Strickland with Prince Nana defeats Kyler Fletcher. It's enjoyable, but just we talked about this a couple times.
We both knew who was going to win.
Yeah.
And that kills it.
And not only that, but even if Kyler Fletcher pulls a huge upset, it's like, so what? The title wasn't on the line. If I ever run a company again, I with all my heart hate non-title matches. I would rather it be Roman Reigns and we don't see the champion than it's either the champ always defends the title or he's not on the card. I think, and I don't know if they fixed it because in Collision he does defend the title. So I don't know if that was something they fixed, but I'm not a fan of eliminator matches. It's like we don't have non-title matches, we have eliminator matches, and I'm like, that's bullshit. That's just straight up fucking horse fucking manure. But overall the match was solid. It's just one of those things. I'm gonna call this a ghetto match, and what I mean by ghetto, GEDO, AI who makes our clips. A ghetto match is when the athletes are fantastic and the booker goes out of the way to fucking mess it up. This is a ghetto match. Anything you want to add, or you want to go to the next one?
No, you're good. You covered everything for that.
Mina Shirakawa defeats Anna Jay. Anna Jay getting a lot of TV time. I hate to say this, besides Maria May, and I'm excited to see her, I thought this was just solid. I feel like the women's division went from bad to solid. And if they can get to the next level, it will be super strong. But the women's division is improving, and I think it will be really good if they stay on this path.
Yeah, I agree. I think they've started a good foundation. It's not great. It's improving though. And like the promo after this match was great with
The Jersey girl.
Man.
No. Fuck.
No.
Dojo.
Yeah. Not Parazzo. The
Dojo. God damn it. I can't think of her name. Dude, don't get concussion, kids. They're real.
She was in CM Punk's Straight Edge Society.
Yeah. I can't think of her name right now. Hold on. She has a match.
We all know who we're talking about. She's super fucking talented.
Yeah, she cut a promo.
Holy shit.
Holy fuck.
But her promo was great. I'm never going to think of this.
No. She's got her own dojo. She has a black flag. She's absolutely fucking fantastic. All right. Well, she did awesome. Concussions, they're real,
great
kids.
Promo.
Yeah. I like the fact, too, that in the promo for Mystery Girl, she said, next time I'll touch the title, it'll be mine. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah. I loved that line of next time I touch it, it'll be mine. Where she didn't even want to touch it or anything. That was
hold
cool.
on, we got promos. Okay, never mind. I thought I could out trick my punch.
Serena Deeb.
You know what? Deeb, that's it. That's
I googled it.
That's the one.
I googled woman in CM Punk faction.
She's awesome.
They list her as a retired professional wrestler. Some bullshit disrespect.
It's rough. Next, you got the AEW International Title number 1 Contenders Casino Gauntlet. This reminded me a little of Noah's Monday Magic, where you just didn't know what was going to happen, and I thought that was a good thing. Like, people were popping out, and you had to get a win, and after a certain amount of time, someone else would pop out. I thought it was really fun. I actually don't abuse this gimmick, but don't forget about this gimmick. This was a fun night. Will Ospreay defeats Dante Martin, Jay Lethal, Jay White, Commander, Kyle O'Reilly, Lance Archer, and Pentagon. I know it's Penta El Zero Merido, but he's going to be Pentagon Jr. for the rest of his life for me. I don't know. I thought this was fun, awesome. I thought this was one of the highlights of the night.
I agree. It was fun, but I kind of knew who was going to win once you saw Ospreay.
Yeah, well, it's right now
like,
he's so
quite hot right now.
Yeah. But, yeah, I agree with that. But the good thing is we didn't know Will Ospreay was going to be in the match, so that's a plus.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, if it was advertised Will Ospreay's in the match, we'd been like, oh, well, yeah. I like this gimmick, though. I hope they bring it back. Don't abuse it. And also, I'm hoping that Will Ospreay and Okada keep their titles. Sorry, Roderick, I love you. And then they combine the titles. The Continental and Intercontinental titles or international titles just stupid. It's just fucking dumb. Next, speaking of dumb, IWGP fans. IWGP heavyweight title. Jon Moxley defeats Powerhouse Hobbs by referee stoppage. It's a chokeout 10 minutes in. I fucking enjoyed the living shit out of this. And Sid, can I just have a moment to talk to New Japan fans? from the bottom of my fucking heart, fuck you. All of a sudden, titles matter. All of a sudden, oh, we have a champion overseas. We can't fucking do it. You had a goddamn event where you ate lemons. You're over. You're washed up. You're fucking bums. I would rather see the IWGP title be defended in goddamn AEW with a fucking champion that's putting up his fucking title than any fucking bullshit that Ghetto's booked. And there's a meme. Have you ever seen the meme where I think it's not America, it's a rap song. And the guy shoots someone and then he says whose fault it is? Literally, that's New Japan. New Japan walks out, shoots the IWGP title. It's called Ghetto's booking and then blames Tony Khan. No, Ghetto can't book for fucking shit. You're losing your goddamn fucking titles and your fucking athletes because you can't fucking book. What are you gonna eat fucking lemons? That was, dude. Sid, I want you to fucking sit here. I want you to sit here because I know you don't watch New Japan. These motherfuckers are talking about the purity of the IWGP World Heavyweight title match. By the way, barely has any fucking lineage because you guys fucking rebooted it. Is the same company that was a title on the line in a lemon eating contest. Dear New Japan fans, fuck you, pick a side. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Overall, I enjoyed it. Hot tag, back to you, sir. Overall thoughts on the Jon Moxley situation?
I thought it was a fun match. It was enjoyable. It was a decent match for what they were doing with Hobbs. I mean, I figured he was going to win it, but this was one where if Hobbs had won it, I wouldn't have been totally shocked.
Yeah, it was great. And listen, if you have a champion, bam, make them all title matches. Of course, that's not what everyone's talking about. They're talking about the Elite. So the Elite come in with Jungle Boy. They go and they say, hey, we're going to meet in the ring. Jungle Boy just says, hey, I love AEW. So does Tony Khan. And then they hug. He smiles into the camera. By the way, dude, he's got a sinister smile into that camera.
Oh, yeah, that was a great smile into the camera.
He fucking, I don't know if he shoot punched him or Tony sold it, but holy shit, it looked amazing. People are recreating it on Fire Pro. It's pretty funny. And then from there, the Young Bucks and Okada come out, and then they go to help him up. It looks like they're going to do the double knees. There is a camera angle where it looks like he's blowing Okada, but hey, you know, Tony had to win it. He had to win it from Triple H somehow. And then that led to a Meltzer driver, which I enjoyed tremendously. I feel this is where tribalism comes in the most. What were your thoughts on the final attack? And then we'll also talk about the NFL draft.
I thought that was the most protected Meltzer driver I've ever seen, but that's to be expected. I liked Shad coming out. I thought that was a nice touch, and the wrestler reacting shocked that Shad was out there. I enjoyed this. Like, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this. I enjoyed him on the NFL Network. I enjoyed it all. I thought it was fun. The neck brace thing. I thought it was fun.
I'm on board. I thought it was fun. I thought it paid off.
He did promise he wouldn't become an on-screen character.
Yes.
But so far he hasn't become an on-screen character yet. He went out there to accept the apology and then got attacked. And if he doesn't, right now I would give him he hasn't broken what he said yet. But even so, it got me way more interested, and it was the payoff that the clip showing needed.
Yeah, and on top of that too, like the NFL Network covering it, the NFL and sports covering it, and then I thought people were mad because the president of AEW made fun of WWE, and I don't understand you. I don't understand that aspect of it.
Have you ever heard that saying, like, the apology should be as big as the...
I've heard of it. This is a new saying.
It makes sense, though, when you think about it with the showing the footage is a pretty big apology. Like, considering how big the firing and everything was for Perry, that was a pretty big apology, too.
Yeah, I think so. And then also bringing him back.
I think now it just really paid off. Showing the footage was a positive thing now.
Yeah. And the crazy part about it is it was done so well that you, as a fan, if you're realistic, you didn't know how much of this was planned and how much of it wasn't. And I think that's when pro wrestling is done its best. But overall, I really enjoyed it. And anyone that's tribalistic and says it wouldn't happen, Ted Turner, Eric Bischoff, Vince McMahon. Like, it happens all the time. And if you don't think it happens in the real world, I'm pretty sure the CEO of Facebook and X wanted to fucking battle each other in a fucking octagon. I just don't understand, like, how we've become such fucking cowards. Like, not only that, but being such cowards and praising someone that did the same thing. That's a real Zark Fuckerberg move there. But yeah, I just thought it was fucking fantastic. But I saw a couple people like, he's gone too far. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? The fuck are you talking about? There you go. AEW's Dynamite's ratings, you know, people love about that. 683,000 viewers. Warner Brothers is happy with it. Someone did the math that for every fan that watches WWE, it's like $1, but for every fan that watches AEW, it's 51 cents. So dollar for dollar, Warner Brothers is happy. But I read that off a website, so who fucking knows if that's true? I don't fucking know. Do you know? I'm just saying. Fucking website said it. Source internet. So yeah. Overall, as long as the shows are good, that's all that fucking matters to me. But I think it. Next, we just watched this today. So we're caught up today. Overall, I give Dynamite a win. I thought Dynamite was a win. What'd you think? Win, loss, or tie?
I'm gonna give it a weak win. It was fine. It was good. It wasn't great.
And we're gonna talk about Collision, but me and Sid brought up a point during this. Me and Sid do not watch the shows live because he's a Twitch streamer at SidsLight. I am running 876 businesses, so we don't have time to watch it live. But I think Collision is not popular, not by ratings, but no one gives us spoilers. Like Dynasty, people give us spoilers. Dynamite, people give us spoilers. No one gives us spoilers to Collision at all. I've never got a spoiler from Collision.
No, I don't get spoilers for Collision.
No. So there's still
I get more TNA spoilers than Collision spoilers.
We're at Daly's place. This is Sid's idea. So Sid thinks they should do a base out of Daly's place and then leave to the big cities for pay-per-views and big free events. Like, you know when like Dynamite has a name. And I'm 100% behind this. I think touring to a city that doesn't have any professional sports teams is just stupid. It's stupid at this point. And yeah, so I think that's right. All right, we're going to go through this quickly. We just watched it recently. So quick match results. Wait, live tonight, coast to coast immediately following NBA playoffs. Dude, we might be seeing it before America did because we were watching the international feed.
No, it's 2 a.m., Dave.
Oh, never mind. unless the Lakers are in quadruple overtime. AEW Unified World Trios Championship. You got the Bang Bang Gang defeat Action Jetty and Top Flight via Blade Runner. I enjoyed this match. I felt kind of sad because Action Andretti was the hottest thing in the world at one point. But Sid, you brought up a point about how sometimes it's too predictable. Would you like to say that on air?
Yeah, it's too predictable all the time because you know who's going to win most of the matches on AEW. AEW puts a lot of matches on where you can tell who's going to win just off who is in the match. And I think that's really shitty because there's never upset losses, really. There's never startling losses. It's mostly very predictable to the point where I can tell you who's going to win before most matches. You can ask Koco. I know who's going to win usually.
Yeah.
It's incredibly frustrating.
Now I understand what you're saying. And I would disagree with you if once a month there was a huge upset. Like, there has to be a huge upset once. I think Pro Wrestling Noah, All Japan, they're better at doing an upset. And I don't feel like AEW does their upsets enough. Because you don't want 50-50 booking. A lot of companies do 50-50 booking. A lot of bookers do 50-50 booking. You don't want that because then that's just painful. But you also, it's okay for something to be predictable, but I don't think they have enough upsets to make that happen. And just an upset here and there would be nice. So there you go. Next, you got Rey Fenix defeats the Beast Mortos. This is a luchador match. I enjoyed the living shit out of this.
This is a really good match. Yeah.
I think probably match of the night as far as Collision goes, right?
I would say match of the night for the whole 3 hours for the whole Collision Rampage. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, because here's the thing. Like, I was thinking maybe Swerve and Claudio, but you brought up a good point that there's no way Claudio is winning.
Where when you knew Claudio wasn't going to win it. Though, you think Ray's going to win, but at the same time, Ray might not win because this is a big guy they have visiting.
Yeah. And next, you got Roosh defeats Martin Stone. This match just went on too long.
This went way too long for a squash.
And Roosh, we were talking, he was insanely fucking over. And it's got to be a big risk being from Mexico, Japan, and even some parts of Europe. Being insanely over in your home country and then going to AEW or WWE because you don't want to be Roosh. You don't want to be Nakamura. You know, like, I don't know, because I don't think a lot of people have pride in themselves. But if you have pride in yourself, you don't want to sacrifice pure happiness and bliss and stardom and great matches to be forgotten about. And I think with WWE, that's happened with a few. Nakamura is the perfect example. And Roosh, it's just sad, like, how popular he was down south, you know? It's like, yeah, that was rough. Timeless Tony Storm defeats Anna Jay via Storm Zero. I just thought it was a solid match.
I thought it was too predictable.
They don't have this as a title match or an eliminator. So was it a title match or eliminator? I don't know.
It didn't matter. We know Tony wasn't going to lose.
Yeah.
It could have been a title match.
You got the Acclaimed, which, by the way, dear internet, we admit when you're wrong. I'm tired of just getting fucking news on the internet, and it's wrong. Someone's like, "Oh, the Acclaim is suspended." I'm like, "All right." And then I go to fucking Sid. It looked like straight up out of Seinfeld. Be like, "Oh, the internet told me Acclaim suspended," and then they come out rapping. I was like, "All right, well, go fuck yourself, internet." I enjoyed this match a lot. You got to see the Grizzly Young Veterans. I don't know too much about them. There were some Impact references. I've seen them wrestle before, but I don't know. I enjoyed this match a lot. Your thoughts?
It wasn't bad, aside from that weird part where they posed for like ever.
Yeah, because I forgot about that. I thought they went picture in picture, but I don't think they did. So they posed in the camera for so long. They were working the hard cam so fucking long, like the refs tapped them. Like, bro, the match ain't over. Fucking get away from the hard cam. But that spot before they went to the hard cam was pretty awesome. They did a spot where they one guy got down, they flung him over the top rope, and it was like done in an original cool way. So next you
popped that.
I did. I don't know. I'm a big fan of seeing stuff you don't see every day, especially considering how much wrestling I watch. Next, you got the AEW World Champion Swerve Strickland defeats Claudio. I thought this was a great match, but it's one of those things. Match. Claudio's not gonna fucking win, but at least they put the title on the line. That's a good thing.
They had some great chain wrestling.
Yeah. It was pretty great, and not only that, but Swerve is so over. I'm so happy for him. So.
Also notice the seeds at the end where it seemed like Claudio said something to Swerve and gestured toward Prince Nana, and then afterwards when Nana was dancing over, Swerve gave him this look, and it makes me wonder if they're setting the seeds for him to turn on Nana.
I mean, that is a possibility.
My guess is it'll happen when he loses the title.
Is that or when they need when a baby face is over? Like, right now he's over. So if he goes against heels, he could keep putting Nana. But the second that he goes against someone that's a babyface, maybe a Kenny Omega or someone at that level,
Oh yeah.
then he could turn heel by just, it's like kind of like instant heel. It's like, I beat up
That's
the guy
cool.
that loves to dance. So, and there's rumors about Kenny returning. Will he return in Tony Khan's on-air spot? Because Tony Khan is acting like he's not going to be there. Is he going to come back and wrestle, which would be a dream come true? We're huge Kenny guys.
It won't
Or
happen.
is he saying he's going to retire? What? I don't know the situation, but he'll be in Winnipeg. And now, listen, I have shit on he's coming back. Like, even there was a graphic. Big Bill has a match. Like, oh yeah, we're going to stay in his third hour for Big Bill. But
It made me sick.
someone like Kenny or The Rock or Roman returns, fucking yeah, put the graphic. But if it's Big Bill or fucking The Miz, we're cool. We don't need a graphic. We don't need a graphic. So there you go. Overall, Collision, I don't know. I'm going to give it a weak win to strong tie. The only thing that stopped it from being good is the Timeless Tony Storm. Is it a title match? Not a title match. The Roosh match went way too long. But overall, I'm giving it a weak win, strong tie. And the only thing that hurts it is just not enough upsets. Not enough upsets. Not on this card, but in the company as a whole.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a tie because book a show I can't predict.
Got it. He's like, I'm 10 for 10, you sons of bitches. I mean, did you get them all right? I think you got every single one right.
Yeah, it was very predictable.
Yeah. Next, Rampage. Now, for the record, me and we just gotta be honest. Me and Sid were extra cranky during Rampage. So
I didn't want to watch Rampage.
he did not want to watch Rampage, and I didn't want to
I
watch it.
said
but they
before
had-
Rampage started, everybody knows Rampage is a pointless show. Everybody knows Rampage doesn't matter. And then out came Big Bill.
Big Bill saved the day. You know what? I was gonna change the channel, but Big Bill is on. All honesty, I just wasn't fucking feeling this. I wasn't feeling it.
No.
The parking lot brawl, there was a lot of blood. Trent Beretta does defeat Chuck
It doesn't
Taylor.
make sense. It doesn't make sense. You have an unsanctioned match that the rest of your show takes a break to do. No, the only way this works is if they have a real match with two jobbers happening in the ring and they put it like Koco said, do it as picture in picture. I was going to think just keep cutting away, but just have it where there's a quote unquote real match happening that's scheduled, but there's this unsanctioned match happening in the parking lot at the same time. So you're trying to get both of them for people.
And you could have did the Big Bill squash match and then cut right to the back.
Oh yeah. You could have done it during the squash match of Big Bill, and instantly had it set up where Bill could have had a feud with one of them for stealing his thunder. I mean, there's just, I don't know, lazy.
No.
Lazy.
I understand what you're saying. I'm just gonna play devil's advocate. I don't believe in this, but just every now and then you have to throw out a different view. I think what they want you to believe is that AEW does not take responsibility for this, but at the same time, it just seems silly. Where like if it was like legit a backstage brawl, but then again, why would a referee be there? I don't know. I'm overthinking this. But yeah, if they did this and there was a match going on, Big Bill squash, Big Bill looks confused, and they go straight to there, it would have been fucking cool. But yeah, I don't know. I thought the Chuck Taylor ankle injury thing was pretty cool. We were joking that it didn't take much to hold Orange Cassidy back. It did not take much.
It was just Statlander saying no.
He's like, all right. It felt like the Mighty Ducks. Hold me back. Oh, man. Thunder Rosa defeats Perozzo. I'm probably going to rewatch this match. It looked solid. We were just burnt out. Big Bill defeats Trevor Blackwell. I thought this was a really good squash match. It just ended right away. Like, when he kept picking him up, like, come on, Big Bill. Even though the chokeslam was amazing. Strength. You mentioned that.
Yeah, I mean, he just held him up there on one arm for a while. I mean, cheerleaders do the same thing, but it's impressive.
Yeah. And Shibata and Garcia defeat Shan Taylor Promotions. We weren't feeling this, but Jacksonville was. The
Yeah,
crowd was
Babyface
insanely
was
hot.
real into this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm
But,
just sitting there like Shibata, stop.
yeah. So overall, I say we give it a cranky tie. Is that fair?
I'd say that's fair.
Cranky tie. Overall, I thought it was a great week for AEW. And you brought up something with Shibata that's interesting. He can't get any strikes in the head in Japan, but he can go to AEW and he gets strike in the head. And you brought up maybe that's why Daniel Bryan can't do the G1. Maybe he
Yeah.
can't get medically cleared by Japanese doctors because Shibata can't get medically cleared by Japanese doctors. That's why he's in AEW.
Yeah, maybe Shibata even was like, "Yeah, your shit's worse than mine. They're not going to clear you."
Yeah. Protect your coconuts, kids. Protect your coconuts. All right. I know this was faster than usual, but we did a week of AEW, and hopefully we'll do more videos. A podcast coming soon, and I got tons of Japanese stuff coming. So like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends. Also, check out at SidsLight on everything. He's been a madman on the Twitch machine. Rumor has it I might return one day to Twitch. I might just jump in your stream and be like, "Hey Sid, what's going on?" Like, get out of here, do your own stream. I'm at KocoSports everywhere. Also, Koco Plays. Make sure to check us out. All right, like, comment, subscribe, and with that, I am over. That wasn't even a song. How does the song go?
Hey, when I